In these next series of spots, I'm going to be looking at my favorite of all the DC Universe waves. We're going to be starting first in my reviews of the DC Universe Wave 9 figures. Today we're going to be looking and starting our reviews with Black Canary. Like I said, DC Universe Wave 9, for the most part, again, is one of my favorite waves and is also one of my favorite build, collect, and connect figures of Chemo. So, what we'll do, we'll loosely touch base on package, because as you can see, package is very similar to all the other DC Universe waves, leading right actually up to... was it Wave 12? I believe the Dark Side wave. I believe that was the first wave of the new packaging. There's a picture of Black Canary down there. Now, despite the fact, I'm not really going to touch too much on packaging, but despite the fact as well that they use the same packaging for the most part, aside from changing up the back packaging, or the back pictures here, the overall scheme is the exact same. One thing I do like about some of the later waves, including Wave 9 here, is that at least they try to mix up the packaging a bit, change it up slightly, and as you can see they've got Black Canary's sonic waves actually part of the plastic bubble. So it's just enough that it gives you that little extra bit of, hey, I'm not the exact same packaging yet again. So I do like that. I do definitely like that. On the back of the package, the 7 figures in this wave. Now granted, it's 7, but you do actually get 2 variants as well. So it beefs it up to a whopping 9 figures. And those figures in the wave, we have Wildcat, along with a variant. We have Deadshot, Guardian, we have Green Arrow, Black Canary, we have Mantis with the Superpowers variant, very cool, and finally we've got Black Adam. The biography on Black Canary says Dinah Lance is the daughter of private investigator Larry Lance and the original Black Canary. A sultry judo expert and member of the Justice Society of America, prior to her mother's death, Dinah took up the role of Black Canary and carried on in her stead. Dinah's crime-fighting career is aided by her natural super-powered canary cry. Statistics: first appearance Justice League of America number 75, November 1969. Real name Dinah Lance. Occupation hero, adventurer. Base of operations Gotham City. Special abilities expert hand-to-hand combatant, particularly in judo and boxing. Able to emit hypersonic canary cry, capable of shattering metal. Astounding. Of course, brought to you by the good folks at Mattel. Collect all 7 figures if you don't so wish to get the other 2 variants. Collect all 7 to build the very large Chemo. So there you go. That is packaging. Kept it nice and short and sweet. What we'll do is we'll open this up and we'll start our reviews of DC Universe Wave 9, starting first with Black Canary. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. And before we actually go over Black Canary here, the figure, what we'll do is we'll look at the collect and connect piece that Black Canary comes with. So if you are collecting Chemo, what you're going to be getting with Black Canary is the very large underoos or lower torso of Chemo. Also interesting to note as well that these are probably one of the largest underoos. I always say underoos. These are probably one of the largest lower torsos for all the Build-A-Figures. Look how large that is. Just going to give you guys a size comparison to actually Black Canary. They are considerably large. Granted, there is nothing really of Chemo to speak of right now. He is missing basically everything. So I'm just going to put the underoos aside here. And I hope cross our fingers, I hope we're going to get camo built at some point along the way in these reviews. In the meantime, though, let's look at Black Canary. Black Canary is a gorgeous looking figure. A gorgeous figure. The one time, actually, one of the few times that they've actually gone outside of the standard sculpt of the figure, and they've given us something different. Black Canary here actually is sporting a mesh that's been applied over top of her legs. Granted, they could have easily gotten the same effect by sculpting that into the legs themselves, but I don't know, as a cost-saving measure, that they just decide, you know what, instead of trying to sculpt in this and try to paint this into the figure, we'll just put the mesh over top. Or they wanted to go above and beyond and give us something a little bit more. I do like the fact that they've included the meshing. Now granted, I'm a bit concerned, and I think actually as you watch several reviews, different reviews of this figure by different reviewers, you'll probably hear the same thing from them, and that's the fact that while the leggings is a good idea for the figure, I'm concerned with first of all, you can't really rotate the legs all that much, because it's like every time you grab it, you're sliding around on these leggings. The same idea with bending the knee. Bending the knee you can do. I'm concerned though after a while if the leggings are actually going to get snagged in there. So it's a hit and miss by having these leggings on the figure. It is nice, aesthetically pleasing. I used a big word there. They are very pleasing to the eye. The only downside though is it does hinder some of the leg articulation, and I'm concerned that just the fact that this is just like a threading, that this is going to rip at some point. That aside though, she really doesn't have a lot going for her color-wise. She's just got the basic black, the black jacket, the black top, and she's got the black boots. If not really for the fact that the legs are this nice rich blue, the figure probably would look pretty washed out. The face actually is really nice on her as well. I don't know if I like the fact that her hair is as dirty as it is, because she's got this blonde, but then they've applied this wash, this brown wash over top of the hair as well, I guess to give it some extra depth. But it's almost the wrong color of brown, because it ends up making the figure look just a tad dirty. I don't know, maybe she just hasn't washed her hair in a while. Really, that's the only problem I have with the figure, is just I don't know if maybe the hair is too dark. I'll bring the camera up a bit here. They've put a slight bit of wash as well. I don't want to touch her boob, but they put a slight bit of wash on her outfit too, so it's not a straight black. It's got a couple of different levels to it of color. I'm almost thinking though it would have been nice if they had just done a more dark black and not worried as much about this extra shading, because it does make the figure washed out a bit. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick the figure, because the figure really is nice. They've gone as far as to actually put nail polish on her thumbnails here, actually. A bit of paint that easily could have been left off, and I don't think really anyone would have noticed it, but the fact that they included that in, I think, is a really nice touch. Speaking of her hands, you'll see that both of them are closed. And really, again, while it is a nice figure, if I was to make any points about it, it would have been nice maybe if the hands had been opened, that if you wanted to put her hands up to her mouth, you could actually have her posed like she's doing the canary scream. In the way of her articulation, she should really have articulation in the head. And the sad part is, as you can see, at least on mine, it doesn't really look like she's going to move all that much, because this hair gets caught in the side collar of her jacket. I think actually that's the only spot where it really gets caught. See if maybe I can lift over. No, not really. Again, it doesn't really want to move all that much on me. But she does have the ball jointed shoulders. You can rotate at the bicep, you can bend at the elbow, rotate at the hand. Of course, swivel at the bicep. She's got the mid-torso crunch. You can bend at the stomach here. Her legs, despite the fact that she's got the meshing in it, she can still bend in and out. They don't look like they can bend out. No, they actually don't. Maybe they can, and just again, my figure is a bit stiff, but it doesn't look like there is any seam to the side of the leg. So it does only look like you can bend the legs in and out. You can rotate the thigh, but again, you're kind of sliding on this mesh. Bend at the knees. You can rotate the boots. You bend the feet, and they pivot ever so slightly. And that may or may not be a deliberate point of articulation. It might just be the way the foot was installed into the boot. Now this figure, pan the camera down a bit. This figure really is a nice figure. Yes, I did probably touch on some points that really, I think overall is not that big of an issue. It would have been nice maybe if they had open hands that you could have her simulate her scream. This mesh is a bit of a concern, but again, if you're not going to pose the figure very much, it may not be too much of an issue. And the hair, I think, is a little dirtier than maybe what it could be. But again, really all small gripes, because at the end of the day, it's still a really, really nice figure. The Black Canary here, I'm going to give a 6 to. And she is, again, starting my reviews of Chemo. So there is a lot of figures I'm looking forward to getting reviewed in this next several set of videos. And in the meantime, that was a toy spot on the DC Universe Wave 9 Black Canary. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the rest of my DC Universe Wave 9. There is really a lot more to come, guys. A lot more to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.